Good evening. You're watching the late news on HKIBC. I'm Harminder Singh. Here are tonight's top stories. Foreign governments expressed dismay over Hong Kong government's decision to reject visa of FCC Vice Chairman Victor Mallet. Development Secretary announces 210 sites chosen for development, 70% of which will be used to build public housing. And Environment Secretary dismisses accusations government is being unfair by allowing contractor to use public land for e-waste storage. Foreign governments and international bodies have expressed dismay at the Hong Kong government's decision to reject a work visa for British journalist Victor Mallet. Britain's Foreign and Commonwealth Office has demanded an urgent explanation from the government for the visa denial. Riley Chan reports.
The government's decision to reject the renewal of Foreign Correspondents' Club Vice Chairman Victor Mallet's work visa has drawn backlash from various governments and rights bodies. A spokesman for Britain's Foreign and Commonwealth Office said it was concerned by the visa denial and has asked the SAR government for an urgent explanation. Hong Kong's high degree of autonomy and its press freedoms are central to its way of life and must be fully respected, the spokesman said. Mallet is also Asian news editor at the Financial Times. But the Hong Kong government spokesman said the Immigration Department has a set of guidelines it followed when vetting visa applications. He added that applicants would not be told the reasons for the rejection. The U.S. consulate in Hong Kong described the rejection as deeply troubling. A consulate spokesman said the decision was especially disturbing because it mirrors problems faced by international journalists in the mainland and appears inconsistent with the principles enshrined in the Basic Law. In August, the FCC hosted a speech by pro-independence advocate Andy Chan. The event anchored both the central and SAR governments. But despite their reactions, Mallet pressed ahead with the talk. Chan's Hong Kong National Party was officially banned last month. Reporters Without Borders called on the government to reverse its decision. It said the move was clearly a form of retaliation from Mallet's involvement in the FCC talk featuring Chan. The Civil Human Rights Front and pro-democracy lawmakers held a protest outside Immigration Tower in Wan Chai this morning. By rejecting Mallet's visa, they accused the government of threatening press freedom. Pro-democracy group Demosisto said it would send members to the upcoming United Nations Universal Periodic Review pre-section in Geneva to discuss the incidents on a global stage. Riley Chan, HKIBC.
Development Secretary Michael Wong has revealed over 200 new sites that have been selected for development, with 70% of them set aside for public housing. Meanwhile, Financial Secretary Paul Chan renewed his support for reclamation to solve the city's housing crisis. More from Riley Chan.
Chief Executive Carrie Lam is set to deliver her policy address on Wednesday. She previously stated that land supply and housing would be the focus of her address. While details are not expected to be disclosed until next week, more public housing and reclamation was likely to be a focus. Development Secretary Michael Wong revealed that the government has found 210 sites for development, of which 70% would be allocated for public housing.
Given the huge shortage of public housing, we think it's reasonable to devote more resources to public housing. And this we've done, for example, by picking 9 sites in Anderson Road and Kai Tak. Originally, those sites would be put in the land sale program. Those sites will now be devoted to public housing. We think it's the right thing to do.
He didn't confirm whether a public-private partnership model would be established, but he said there were concerns from the business sector. He added that the government would make sure there was a fair and transparent mechanism in place when rolling out new policies. Meanwhile, Financial Secretary Paul Chan continued to lobby support for reclamation to boost land supply. Speaking at a public event today, Chan said reclamation has always been a major source of land for Hong Kong. Many new territories were created through reclamation, which was a key solution to the housing problem in the city, he said. Chan added that new technologies have made reclamation more environmentally friendly, allowing